Steve Dimick. I'm a experienced Python developer, DevOps engineer, cloud automation engineer. I'm currently freelancing, so haven't had many gigs, but I have had a couple. So I just finished one recently, and I wanted to kind of explain what was going on with it. Um, so let's dive into it. The problem: have a client who's a nonprofit who wishes to remain anonymous. They were reporting high CPU usage on their website due to bot traffic. It's a website that was hosted in WordPress. The client suspected it was their use of the event calendar, that the event calendar was presenting a lot of different pages to external bots that were being scanned, and it was taking up a lot of CPU. And the client wanted better insight into what the bots were doing, or what bots were hitting their site, and how that was affecting their resources. Okay, so let's take a look. Before we go into the solution, I'll jump back and forth between a couple slides here. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Before we proceeded, we want to take a quick look at the HTTP access logs and see, actually, we wanted to determine what part of the site the bots were scanning. So we took and parsed and cleaned those logs, put them in a CSV file. We took the CSV file and stored that on a Google Drive so Grafana can access it. We used an Infinity plugin in Grafana as a data source. The Grafana instance ran in AWS so everybody could look at it. It wasn't just running locally on my machine. I developed a dashboard with a set of visualizations that allowed the client to actually view what was occurring. And, okay, so I won't get into the results, but let's kind of take a look at what the monitoring solution looked like. We had a WordPress front end that was generating HTTP access logs. We downloaded those, ran it through a Python script that extracted the data from them and cleaned it, and saved it as a CSV file, uploaded to Google Drive. Google Drive was then used by Grafana running on AWS, and the dashboards were shown there. Let's show you what the dashboards look like. So these are the dashboards. I got from the 13th to the 18th worth of data to analyze, and that's it. But I gave them some dashboards that look like this. The first one here is it basically shows the percentage of bot traffic. And so what it's going to do is, if anything over 50%, it's going to give a red indicator here. So if it's below 50, you're going to get green. If it's above 50, you're going to get you could get a yellow, an orange, and then finally a red. So that it's going to show red when you get high a bot percentage. So over here we got status codes. That kind of just shows you, what's going on with the site as far as, like, is there a lot of errors or whatever. Your HTTP results, 200 is good, right? So if you get 200s, those are good. We can see here there's a lot of 200s. You want to really look at, a lot of times bots will cause these 404. So if this is high, you have some issues there as well. You want to stop. Those are like malicious bots, and you want to stop those. So this site does not have too many. There's not an extraordinary high number of 404, so we're looking good there. So we get down to this graph. It shows who's hitting the website by user agent. So this green line here turns out to be a user agent called a better uptime bot. Okay, so in comparison with this high number of hits here, down here is the actual number of hits by users. This is WordPress, right? The blue is WordPress. So that's actual users to the site. They're hitting it at this rate down here, which is somewhere between 500 and 1,000. And up here with 3,000 is the better uptime bot, right? So 3,000 per day is basically what's going on. So we're seeing that better uptime bot is hitting the site quite frequently. And it's even more stark if you just look at the bot traffic, right? So the next, I guess there's a WordPress bot. Yeah, I did not know that. But you can see here that it far outstrips any of the other bots here. Okay. So, and then we drill down a little further, we get a nice little donut graph here showing 59% of the total traffic is this better uptime bot. 78% of all bot traffic is that. All right, and then we look at response size. This is the so the amount of data being sent back from the site. So it's kind of an indicator of what's going to use a lot of your resources, because if you're sending back a lot of data, you're probably using a lot of CPU. It's not direct, but it gives you a decent indication. And we can also see here that the 74% of all data being sent back is through this better uptime bot, and that 95% of all bot traffic or response data from bots is being sent back by this better uptime bot. So it turns out we did not have an issue with the event calendar. We had an issue with this better uptime bot. Turns out it was misconfigured, and it was sending up to 1 to 4 queries per second, which was way too much for this website. It's a small website, like I said, by a nonprofit that's hosted on a ground site. It's not heavy duty by any means. It's not a big industrial strength server. They're very budget conscious, right? So they really, this was really helpful to them to be able to tell what it was in a quick turnaround time, to be able to get a quick turnaround and to be able to, have a good idea of actually what was going on, because it was perplexing them. It really was. So let's see. Yeah. All right. So good luck, like I said, finding a freelancer. I hope I can, work with you. I would love to generate some more traffic. I'm kind of semi-retired. I'll work at a pretty low rate, because I'm not really, I need some money, but I'm not really. I'm not in the point of my career right now where I'm really looking for a lot of cash. What I'm really looking for is work, that I can do that's fun, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I like helping people. I like, like with this one, I like it when the problem turns out to be not near what you expected. We didn't put near the effort into that as we were expecting, and it gave them a good solution, and I think they feel confident going forward. We're going to use this to tune their robots.txt so they can start allowing more bots to scan them, because bots actually do good work a lot of times. They're associated with SEO and different things like that. You don't want to just totally, you won't show up in a search if you don't get scanned by a bot, essentially, is what happens these days. So, it's you need to tune that, and this gives them a set of, a dashboard, a set of visualizations that allows them to tune that a little, right? So they can tweak it. They can see what's coming in. They can see if allowing a particular bot really increases the number of hits and the number of the response dies going back or not. It's good. It was fun working with them, and I enjoyed the project, and I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.